So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Prowler, 1983. It's directed by the same guy who did Joseph Zito, who also directed Missing in Action, Asian USA, and Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Is that the one with Corey Feldman, Crispin Glover? I've never seen Friday the 13th, the final chapter. It looks like fun, though. Joseph Zito. Man, this is The Prowler. Oh, this is going to be another Adrian mention. It's got Farley Granger playing the sheriff. And yeah, I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars on this flick. I'll look for the trailer and the movie. Post both in the description box. Sorry, mates, and Professor Quiz, I've been holding out on you for 5 days. I worked 60 hours in 5 days. And I got written up by the manager for the accident. He didn't listen to me about the glare on the backup camera or the fact that I was being a car was coming at me. I had no choice but to back up. He's being pressured by the safety Nazis to write me up and to threaten to terminate me if I have another serious safety issue. So I only got one more route in Marin. I've gotten into one accident. I've got one traffic ticket in Marin. So absolutely hate driving in Marin. My eyesight is a little better. That's the only thing I have to say. But I do have 2 movie reviews that I've got to catch up on now before I go grocery shopping. The Park and Fly dude keeps telling me to work full-time graveyard shift, and I tell him, I can't. I got too many conflicts with your schedule, man. I can only work Wednesday and Thursday, 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So this is what I got from Netflix. Mr. Blandings builds his dream house with Cary Grant and Myrna Loy. 1948. I watched the bonus feature. I'm going to do that review next. It's a Tex Avery cartoon. I like Droopy, but I don't like the other Tex Avery cartoons that much. Droopy is just funny. Anyways. Okay. So this movie was not a the what do I want to say? Just had a brain fart there. I was reading a review online, and it was pretty spot on. I wish I could find it so I could post it in the description box. It's kind of similar to Pieces, which I'm going to receive soon. And I'll review soon. Anyways. It's a non-franchise slasher. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry. And a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, why is a guy in a World War II combat outfit carrying around a pitchfork as a murder weapon? For instance, now why does the beginning of the film have absolutely nothing to do with the end of the film? And those are some of the questions to ponder. Because you see the newsreel in the beginning and then you watch the end and you go, huh? What just happened? I had to go back and actually read the storyline to figure out what the ending was about, because I couldn't figure it out. I guess I wasn't too smart. But anyways, so what else can I say about the Prowler before I get into the storyline, which didn't make sense at all? But it was fun. I bet you Adrian had it on VHS because he was interested in the shower scene with the pitchfork. So internationally, this was known as Rosemary's Killer and the Pitchfork of Death. Had two alternate titles. It was not a major commercial success, ranking 135th overall that year at the U.S. box office, grossing less than $1 million. The Prowler developed a cult following in the years after its release and has been noted for its hard-edged violence, showcasing special effects by Tom Savini, as well as its dreamlike atmosphere. Okay. I watched it for the Tom Savini special effects, and the bonus features on the disc had some decent behind the scenes on Tom Savini's special effects. I was digging that. It has been named one of the greatest slasher films of all times by several publications, including Complex and Paste magazine. The Prowler is often compared to another slasher film of the same year with a similar plot, My Bloody Valentine. I guess that's because the World War II combat unit outfit murderer looks kind of similar to My Bloody Valentine murderer, I think. So it starts out on March 12th, 1944 in Avalon, California during World War II. Somebody named Rosemary writes a letter to boyfriend breaking up with him. Again, what this has to do with well, first there's the newsreel. The newsreel has nothing to do with the ending. It's talking about GIs coming back for World War II. And they're damaged goods because they have psychological problems from going to war. I know my grandfather never talked about war. Maybe that's why. He showed me a Purple Heart or something he got for getting injured in battle. And that was the extent of my conversation with my grandfather, who volunteered for the army in World War II, met my grandmother in Germany, who was entertaining the troops. Anyways, on June 28th, 1945, Rosemary is attending a graduation dance with her new boyfriend, Roy, who suggests they go out to Lover's Lane. They are attacked by a mysterious prowler wearing an army combat uniform who impales them both with a pitchfork. and leaves behind a red rose. Okay, that's the first kill. There are many more to follow, many good ones. Tom Savini is the reason to watch this one. All right. So fast forward to June 28th, 1980. 45 years later, Pam McDonald, college senior, the blondie, she's making last-minute arrangements for that night's graduation ball, the first to be held since the 1945 murders. There's some Major Catham dude in a wheelchair who's responsible for postponing the graduation dance for 45 years. Or I guess it's 35 years. My math is off, sorry. 35 years, okay. So the blondie is worried about this report of a Prowler that she overheard. The sheriff's leaving town for a fishing trip, supposedly. That's Farley Granger. So her boyfriend, this goofball, who works for the sheriff, Farley Granger, he's supposed to meet her at the graduation dance. Sherry stays behind to shower and receives a surprise visit from Carl. Carl's attacked with a bayonet, so they stick a bayonet through his skull and down his chin. Then Sherry gets the pitchfork in the shower. That's 3 kills so far. But there's a fourth one. All right. No, there are 5, I think. Yeah, 5. Decent special effects. Tom Savini busting out the special effects. All right. So there's this Pam gal who's trying to hit on Blondie's boyfriend at the graduation dance. She gets all irritated about it because Pam asked Mark to dance. Oh, the horror. So Lisa bumps into Mark, which causes him to spill his drink on her dress. She returns to the dorm room to change and is chased by the same Prowler, but she manages to escape while bumping into the dude in the wheelchair. Major Catham grabs her arm. Pam escapes his grasp and reunites with Mark. Then she tells Mark about the Prowler, and he starts investigating. He starts doing his Keystone Cop stuff. He checks out the dorm, only finds boot prints and wheelchair tracks outside. The two then go investigate the Major's home. Pam realizes that his daughter, Major Catham's daughter, was Rosemary, and their killer was never caught. Convinced the Prowler from earlier is the same killer, Mark and Pam head to the dance and warn the chaperone, Allison, about the possible danger. Allison ends up getting knifed in the throat. Lisa goes out to nearby swimming pool to cool off. She's wearing her bikini, her white bikini. That was pretty cool behind the scenes kill. She encounters the killer. Again, another comment. Why? The killer kicks her in the head and she's like flailing around. Her arms like she's got dementia or something. That was pretty silly. Why did she do that? Anyway, the killer then jumps her in the pool, slits her throat with a bayonet. Paul, Lisa's boyfriend, is arrested by Mark for public intoxication. So he's in the jail complaining. Let me out. Allison goes to find Lisa, but is stabbed and killed also. Yeah, that's the 5th kill. Mark and Pam go to investigate the cemetery and discover an open grave with Lisa's body in it. Mark tries to call the cabin that the sheriff went to, but is ignored by the site worker who's playing solitaire. And he doesn't want to be bothered. Mark next calls the state police for help. He informs Penn that the state police told him that the reported prowler had been caught 3 hours earlier and could not have killed Lisa. So another plot line that has nothing to do with it. Another subplot that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie, I guess. Pam suspects that Lisa's killer is the same killer who murdered Rosemary and her boyfriend in 1945. So they go to investigate Major Chatham's house again. He's the World War II dude, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Mark is attacked as the prowler chases Pam through the house. Otto, a slow-witted employee of the local convenience store and an armed member of a small posse patrolling the neighborhood for the prowler, appears and shoots the prowler with a rifle. But he quickly recovers and shoots Otto dead with a sawed-off shotgun before again attacking Pam by reloading the shotgun. So at one point, Pam's underneath the bed, and you see a mouse run up right to her face. Don't ask me to explain the ending because I have no idea what the hell I just watched. Adrian mentioned. Anyways. The Prowler was released under the alternate title Rosemary's Killer in Australia and Europe, in a cut that is missing almost a minute of Tom Savini's gore effects. The German version omits all the gore scenes, including the revelation of the killer's identity, and replaced the soundtrack with bird sounds for daytime scenes, cricket sounds for the night scenes, and Richard Enhorst's score with synthesizer music by an uncredited musician. This version goes by the title Die Forky de Toads, the Pitchfork of Death. So there you have it, the distinction between the two international versions, both of which are heavily censored. So this movie is for all you gore hounds. Get the Blue Underground disc. Although another comment I saw by the reviewer mentioned the same problem that I was having with this. Namely, his sound quality is horrible. And it was so bad that I couldn't hear it on the speakers. I couldn't hear the dialogue on the speakers. So I had to rewind from the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Not rewind, but go back to the beginning. You know, the little button on the DVD, portable DVD player. I kept hitting the back button to the very beginning so that I could hear all of the dialogue. And it was still like the original Friday the 13th, in a sense that the teenagers, you don't really care when they're getting killed. Or even the the person who was hosting the graduation party, I didn't really care because they're all stupid people. And you're like, what do I care if stupid people are getting killed? So in that sense, it reminded me of the first Friday the 13th. I haven't seen Friday the 13th, the final chapter, but I wanted to see I wanted to see it because it's got Corey Feldman and Crispin Glover. Anyways, the Encyclopedia of Horror reports that Savini's particular graphic special effects resulted in most of the murders being trimmed in the British release print. So you've got censorship in Australia, Great Britain, and Germany. All right. One reviewer in Slant magazine referred the film to both John Carpenter's Halloween and William Lustig's Maniac. All right, I think I covered everything with the Prowler. I was just reading the plot from Wikipedia for the most part because I didn't want to miss a thing. I get worried when I do these reviews and I don't miss, and I miss something, and then I get criticized heavily for it. All right. Well, that's the end of my review. Thanks for the mention, Adrian. Let's see what I got coming down the pike on Netflix. Because I haven't been giving you a heads up. I thought I was going to what do you call it? Oh, you can see I'm sunburned, man. I was working 9.5 hours today to live in 39 stops in sunny San Francisco, and it was unusually warmer in San Francisco. I wasn't used to it. I thought I was going to get heat stroke, but fortunately, the doorman at one of these ginormous high-rise apartment buildings here in San Francisco, he gave me some water bottles. I was on 3rd Street towards the end of my route. I was getting burned out, man. Yesterday, I thought I started getting groggy on the freeway. I was doing this. But I had my Red Line energy drink ready, which I didn't take late in the morning. I took it kind of mid-afternoon. So, and then I ended up getting a crummy 18 stops in San Francisco. And I ended up getting back at like 8 p.m. But I still got a 12-hour day out of it. I still got a pretty decent day because people didn't show up for work. Even the contractors didn't show up. All right. So instead of pieces, I got Mr. Blandings builds his dream house, which had been kind of languishing on my Netflix queue for months. Had a very long wait. And well, maybe not months, but for weeks, let's say. And I got Pieces, 1982, which is another garbage can slasher film. Then I've got Of Human Bondage, 1934, with Betty Davis. Leslie Howard? Leslie Howard doesn't ring any bells. Okay. So what do I have coming next week? The Outlaw with Jane Russell. The Postman Always Rings Twice. That one looks good. 1946. The Outlaw 1943. And The Pride of the Yankees with Gary Cooper. This is about baseball phenomenon Lou Gehrig. 1942. Follows the Iron Horse from childhood to his later glory on the diamond. I'm assuming the Gary Cooper character plays Lou Gehrig while he's on the field. Later glory on the diamond. That's kind of interesting. I started watching This Is Not a Test. It was kind of boring, like that Ray Milland nuclear holocaust movie that I reviewed, and Professor Quiz told me to check out This Is Not a Test. So I got about halfway through it, and it was pretty boring so far. It's supposed to have a decent ending, though. So I'll give it one more chance. I'm going to watch it through its entirety, review the whole thing. Hopefully not miss any plot points by reading off of Wikipedia. And then inserting my own comments for good measure. So there. I think I'm going to go to bluecrew.com and apply for a part-time job on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm tired of waiting for Indeed, these useless valet parking companies. They don't want to tailor their schedule according to mine. So to heck with them. I used to get decent cash tips when I was doing a graveyard. That's when I first started talking to Adrian. I just did movie reviews waiting for cars to park in Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco. Remember that? Oh, man, I used to fall asleep all the time on the job. I just couldn't stay awake. And eventually they laid me off anyway. I think one of the hotel customers started yelling at me for falling asleep on the job. It probably deserved it. But I think I was the only one who wanted to work graveyard at that time on weekends. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Who's watching? Is my son watching from Los Angeles? It's even hotter in Los Angeles than it is here. And I don't think he's in a swimming pool right now. Do Chinese people go swimming? I never went swimming with my ex-wife, who's Chinese. That was not an activity that she actively pursued, but she was forced my son to learn swimming, which may have been a good thing, actually. I think it helped him developmentally wise, the swimming classes. One of the few things that my ex-wife ever did. One of the few good things, I should say. All right, so I'm going over 28 minutes here. Just wanted to catch up, give you a quick update, do my thing with the Prowler. And let me look for the trailer in the movie on YouTube, see if I can post it in the description box later.